Today is Friday the 13th, a day that is associated with bad luck and horror. There are a lot of superstitions behind this day, and the 13th falling on a Friday is very rare. It happens about once or twice a year. So with this day being so rare, it's a big coincidence that a ex-leader of a certain group called for a Day of J by Muslim communities on this very scary day. Today in New York City, where there's been a lot of tension, where there's been two groups clashing, police have been out in full force roaming the streets to make sure nothing catastrophic happens. Where I reside, it's 5:30 Eastern Time at the time of this recording, so far so good. Nothing really major has popped off in the United States. But this is only just the United States. The Day of J has been called on around the world. In France, a teacher lost her life and two others were seriously injured when an attacker went on a stabbing spree while shouting out "Alu Aki." Now, I know how it's really pronounced, but I have to say "Alu Aki" because I don't know what words are censored and what's not censored anymore, since social media has been going into an overdrive trying to catch keywords. Ever since that event that happened with the country that begins with the letter I, social media is out in full force, censoring words more so than ever before. Matter of fact, the last two videos that I have made were demonetized, which took me by surprise because I have been pretty much walking on eggshells when it comes to what I've been saying. I have not even been mentioning any country by name. I know some people are saying, well, good, you're not making money off these videos. You should not profit off of tragedy. But the money part is only a small fraction of what happens when you're demonetized. When you're demonetized, your video does not play ads, meaning YouTube does not benefit off those videos. So they are not going to recommend them out there. You're going to get very low views off those videos. And it also pretty much puts a target on your back that you do not want. But whatever, this video is not about YouTube or its censorship. I just pretty much wanted to talk about all the weird coinkerdinkers that has been happening in 2023. If you are a coincidence theorist, then 2023 is pretty much your year. There has never been a more finer time in human history to believe in coincidences than there is now, so you might as well take advantage of it. Like, take this for example, the small state that is right below New York, the state where I was born and raised for 20 years, that has proudly made me the asshole that I am today, New Jersey. September 2023, as you're driving the highways of New Jersey, you're going to see random signs pop up that say report terror activity. This has really stoked some fear into some people and left many with questions because for years they're driving on this highway. Now all of a sudden they're seeing signs pop up telling them to report terror activity. As per usual, there is always a lack of transparency, so they're never told why these signs were put up in the first place. Well, a couple weeks go by and on October 4th, there is an emergency alert systems test. There was big concerns that during this test that the public were going to be turned into zombies. You had the media making big fun of this, saying, look, the conspiracy theorists are saying they're going to be turned into zombies. There's going to be a zombie apocalypse. Well, guess what? A zombie apocalypse did occur. Zombies were created. Now, you don't have to be the traditional zombie that walks around with a slow bop yelling brains, brains. There are many different types of zombies. The zombies that were created are the ones that are not allowed to have any sort of independent thought. 3 days after those alerts went off, a major incident happened overseas. I really don't want this video to be demonetized as well, so I'm not going to say what happened. But unless you're living under a rock, then you know what I'm talking about. And I don't even know if I can say a rock because it sounds like that other country that is also overseas. So this video will probably be demonetized as well. Oh, joy. So you have these two groups that are fighting one another, but you have supporters of these two groups all over the world and mainly in the United States. Yes, what happened overseas is very horrible. But unless you follow the hive mind, unless you follow a one way of thinking, if you have any independent thought whatsoever, prepare to have your life ruined. You have to support one particular side 100%. You can't even meet them halfway. You can't even say, yes, what's going on over there is absolutely horrible. But these two sides have been fighting for decades, even before I was born. There is a lot of complicated history there. No, you can't say that because you'll either lose your job, you'll lose a prospective job, you will have your name and face plastered all over a college campus to where future businesses will see your face and see what you're associated with and will not hire you. Basically, your future is over. It's a force your hand move, just like Maui, just like Hawaii. Those people did not want to give up their ancestral lands. They did not want to sell. Well, guess what? We're going to make you sell. You don't want to support us? Well, guess what? We're going to make you support us. We're going to show your name and your face to the public. We are going to legally dox you because we're going to make an example out of you. You're going to have people that are going to say, well, that's good. These people should have been supporting this one side. But then you have to realize the country you're in, the United States, is a multicultural society. You have many, many people that are protesting that do not like this country that begins with the letter I. They feel like their people have been facing a great injustice. You have people in the hundreds, if not the thousands, crossing into the United States from the southern border, a very weak border, that do not like this country that begins with the letter I. So now you're going to tell these people, you now have to support this country that begins with the letter I in a fight against your people. That if you do not change your attitude and support these people that you do not like, you will lose everything here in the United States. Do you not see the hostility that is going to create? That in this multicultural society, that the United States, the government, only 100% supports one side. People are going to start retaliating. They're going to take their hostility out on innocent people. Just like today in New York City, we had to be on high alert for any terror activity. And it goes all the way back to September in New Jersey, those signs, report any terror activity. So is this all just one big coincidence? So then you have to ask yourself, what is next? What is coming next? Well, oddly enough, after the rare unlucky day known as Friday the 13th, tomorrow there will be a solar ring of fire eclipse. For whatever reason, NASA will fire 3 rockets directly at the solar eclipse on Saturday. NASA researchers plan to launch 3 rockets carrying scientific instruments towards the moon's shadow on October 14th to study changes in the atmosphere brought by a solar eclipse. We have had numerous solar eclipses in the past, but now for whatever reason, we have now decided to fire a rocket at it. Not just a rocket, but rockets. As coincidence has it, we are firing 3 rockets as this event rages on overseas. All this time, all these years, they have never shot a rocket during a solar eclipse or at a solar eclipse, but now they want to because they will not get another chance to shoot rockets at the moon's shadow until 2044. Just makes you wonder what coincidence this will lead to. Could a foreign area perhaps blow up the same time we're firing these rockets? That would be a big coincidence. Or maybe this could start that fake alien war that is supposed to happen any day now. We were trusting in the science and we were doing a science project and we accidentally hit a UFO with an ancient alien species that will wipe us all out. We must unite and form a one world government. It's all BS. Anyway, very sorry for how little editing there is in this video. I wanted to do a live today, but I got out of work very late, so I wanted to still create a video. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, because any engagement does help this channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.